Welcome to Lagos Update for news that makes headlines across the city of Lagos on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. You're welcome. And first on Lagos Update, the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency recently flagged off its September 2025 awareness campaign with the theme Sexual and Gender-Based Violence, a Concern for All, at a press briefing in Lagos to acquaint journalists about its efforts and initiatives for a successful campaign drive. Representing the Attorney General and Honorable Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Lawal Pedro San, the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry spoke on the rationale behind the theme and a catalogue of cases managed and supported by the agency.
This briefing marks the beginning of Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Awareness Month, held every September, and provides an opportunity to update the public on the remarkable progress made by the state. Between August 2024 and July 2025, the DSVA received a total of 8,692 cases through both physical walk-ins and virtual referrals and response service. On average, the agency attends to over 400 cases or 400 claims monthly. These are the breakdown. 3,685 cases of domestic violence were reported, making the most prevalent category. 243 cases of defilement and 244 cases of child abuse, physical assault were handled. 99 cases of rape, 48 cases of sexual harassment, and 25 cases of sexual assault by penetration were recorded. Other cases include 45 cyber harassment incidents, 32 threats to life, and 726 family-related disputes, custody, neglect, abduction, and child labor. A significant 3,090 students were identified as having suffered emotional abuse due to exposure to domestic violence at home. DSVA provided counseling support to ensure that they are not permanently scarred by these experiences. The youngest survivor was 18 months old, while the oldest survivor of domestic violence was a 79-year-old woman, demonstrating that SGBV affects every age group.
On a part, the Executive Secretary of the agency, Mrs. Titilayo Vivo Adeniyi, who noted the critical importance of the theme, called on the media to amplify the message of the campaign. She equally appreciated the support of other non-governmental organizations, government sister agencies, in ensuring that the agency realizes its set objectives.
Of a truth, sexual and gender-based violence is not a respecter of age, class, or creed. Indeed, anybody can be a victim or a survivor. And so as we embark on the different activities in the month of September, we want to encourage you to please help us amplify our zero tolerance message. Let every Lagosian know that there is help for them, and also let them know that there are consequences for any negative action. Thank you so much. And also let me just appreciate our partner MDAs here present, Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, our amazing non-governmental organizations also here present. This work requires a multidisciplinary approach. No one agency can do all this by themselves, and so we're very grateful. And of course, our parent ministry, Ministry of Justice, for leading us aright.
Ahead of its first ever water conference in Lagos with the theme Pressure on the Lagoon, The Lagos State Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development held a press briefing recently in Lagos to acquaint the media about the fundamental issues of concern for discourse at the conference. The Honorable Commissioner of the Ministry, Honorable Ekundayo Alebiosu, in his speech, highlighted the significant areas of concern to be looked at. Key among them is challenge and dangerous impact of reclamation works, indiscriminate dredging activities, and its negative impact to tourism in Lagos State.
The theme, as we all know, is called Pressure on the Lagoon. Why the theme? As we know, we have 187 kilometers of coastline in Lagos. In Yoruba, they say, Bo se n se or Nikan lo n se owa ogbokun. What's happening to the lagoon is different from what's happening on the Atlantic coastline. However, when you take a look at it, our existence as a people depends on the lagoon. We're dealing with all sorts of things, but what do you do when it's an act of God? You can only pray. But when it's an act of man, then it means you don't pray to man, you talk to man. It means we need to speak with each other. How does it concern us? It concerns everybody. When you look at it from the tourism point of view, what's happening with our waterfront? When you consider or you look at issues of illegal reclamation and all sorts that's going on, it happens in the communities. It does not happen in Abuja and then they import it to Lagos. The problems is here. The fresh water we depend on, the boreholes we drink, the boreholes we sink for fresh water comes from the same lagoon. Waste is discharged into the lagoon. Thinning out of our lagoon. There are threats of salt water mixing with fresh water. What do we think would happen when, should, God forbid, should this natural disaster strike? What do we do? We're also dealing with the issues of rising cost of seafood. When we talk seafood, we don't have to think of the very exotic or the expensive or the exquisite ones. Let's even talk about the ones that are right here in front of us. They're becoming out of reach. Regular fish is becoming ridiculously expensive. I'm an architect and I know what the cost of construction is, what it used to be in the last 1 year, what it has become. So let's imagine closing our eyes. Even this reclamation works going on at the moment, you find out there now, they used to dredge sand from 400 meters, 100 meters. Now they're going as far as 10 kilometers to pump legal, approved or unapproved reclamation works. What that does is it tells me something. It tells me that we're dealing with issues. So what happened to the sand they used to get between the 10 kilometer distance? What happens in another year or in another 2 years when we have all gone at the end of the administration? Will they still be dredging sand at 10 kilometers or would have gone further to maybe 20 kilometers? Who knows? Maybe it would have even crossed over to Ogun State or somewhere else. But we're flirting with danger. We're really flirting with danger. There's no community where these things happen without the community members, the community leaders, the community heads being aware. But we would assume that they may not be aware of the impact. How do you regulate or discipline somebody who doesn't respect you? It's an impossibility. So the first thing you do is you earn their respect. Sitting down with them, talking to them, highlighting and showing it to them that this is what we're dealing with. What kind of waterfront would we like to see? We go to Dubai, we go to all these places, but let's leave those places and let's take an imaginary walk along our coastline towards Benin Republic, Togo, and look at the beautiful things happening there on their waterfront. This is something that will also enhance tourism seriously.
Well, that drops up the curtain on Lagos Update. Next is from the Governor's Office platform on the City of Lagos TV show. We'll be right back.
Hello Lagosians, my name is Abdulkabir Okoyemi Ogungbo. I'm the Special Advisor to the Governor on Taxation and Revenue. Please continue to support the government of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu by paying your taxes and all your revenue so that we can deliver that desired Lagos that we all crave for. Ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni o. Thank you.